I am happy to announce that Rufus Jones has been elected the president. Where's that new president?
You're here.
Oh, come here, Fred. You got to say something to your constituency.
I be glad when you're there, I be glad when you're there, you. I be glad no gonna hide when I bring your body by. I be glad when you're there, I be glad when you're there, I be feeling that way, even if there you don't. Oh, what have you got to make my wife think you so hot? I be glad when you're there, I be glad when you're there, I be thinking that when leave this there you don't. That we're laying 6 feet deep, now I'm running. I be glad when you're there, yeah!
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi barakatuh. On a alhamdulillah. Thank God it's Friday. This is me, your host, Preacher Moss, the host of the SOS, the ShOUT show. I'm going to tell y'all something. Don't mess with me on Friday. I went deep on y'all this Friday. I went and got Sammy Davis Jr., and he's the same size at that picture as he was when he passed away. I'm just messing with you. Big ups to Sammy Davis Jr. I love that clip. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. He was a bad man when he was that little. People are envious of his talent when he was that little. He could sing, he could dance, he could tell jokes. And just for you on Friday Funnies, I had to dig deep in the chest, in the crates, brothers and sisters, and bring you a little information. Don't mess with me when I'm educating here. Don't mess with me when I'm educating. So big ups to Mr. Sammy Davis Jr. May you rest in peace. May Allah continue to bless you and give you the highest levels of paradise. He was a good man, and I really, really, really love Sammy Davis Jr. Somebody said we're the same size. Shut up. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I want to welcome everybody to the show. It's a little laid back today. I have some things that I'm going to be going through. Some things that are on my mind. I figure I would just get them out here because it's Friday's Funnies. And you know what? When you hold on to something long enough, it becomes ridiculous. You may be angry, but it becomes ridiculous and then it becomes funny. So I'm going to explain some things. I'm going to give a salute to. I'm going to give a salute to a principal, a school principal, middle school principal out in Indiana who did something. I'm going to say you are the ShOUT show citizen of the day. I'm going to spotlight that man, and I'm going to tell you why I think he deserves a little shine. But I'm also going to tell you why, I was a little salty. But that's not the point. So here we go. Anybody who's coming on the show for the first time, this is the SOS. I'm the host, Preacher Moss. Here's the deal. You're in a very special place. You're on this very special day, the ShOUT show, the Friday Funnies. I wait for Friday Funnies because a lot of times we cover a lot of different things. But today, I'm just trying to have fun. I also want to give a shout out to everybody that came on yesterday's show, Throwback Thursday. I have to say that it was a fun Throwback Thursday. Talking about hood legends in the neighborhood, funny stuff like that. My dad came on. He was laughing. For y'all that think I'm lying, I'm not lying. There was a man called Two Quarters. Okay, it was a man called Two Quarters. We had all kind of characters in my grandmother's neighborhood. There was Two Quarters. There was a man named Diddy Bop. That's right, Sterling Smith, Diddy Bop. He was like the first. You know how you had Otis in Mayberry? He get drunk and then he go to the jail and lock himself up. His inspiration was Mr. Diddy Bop. So I'm not going to leave that. I'm going to come back to that later. So if you're coming on the show for the first time, if you think I'm in a good mood, yeah, I am in a good mood. Why it's Friday, why I'm in a place I want to be, and I'm with people I want to be with. I'm going to introduce you to them in just a moment. But first of all, some rules if you're coming for the first time. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification button. If you like the show, hit the like button. I'm here to say, brothers and sisters, somebody's been hitting that subscribe button because we're up to 144. Know how many more that is? That's 4 more than we had last week. Alhamdulillah. You got to be thankful for the little things. So if you're coming on the show for the first time, don't act shy. Get in the comment section. Introduce yourself. Don't be a wallflower on the shout-out show. This shout-out show is not for wallflowers. This is people getting out here, getting their ideas out, and I give everybody the Al Jarreau treatment. I'm going to talk to you, I'm going to ask you questions, and doggone it, you better respond back. You know why? Because this is a conversation. This is not a rant, it's a conversation. So we got some people. I'm going to be shouting them up in a minute. So let me move forward. I'm going to show you how this thing works. If you're new, the Shout Out Show soldiers, the Shout Out Show families they're the secret sauce to make the show work. Okay, so let me make this work. Here we go. So all the way from Atlanta, Maryland, outside of Washington D.C. This is my sister Eleanor. She's my sister. She's with my mom. They're still working on the new phone. We'll call you once we get it done. Right now, Mom sends our love, waiting for the shout-out show. So they're watching the show right now. Okay. Miss Ellen, I'm going to tell you something. I know that you got my mom a cell phone. I got my mom's cell phone, too. My mom's cell phone never works. She won't leave it. She won't leave it on. We just might as well find a rotary phone and put it on the wall of the kitchen and just let her do that. But she doesn't need any more. Mom, you don't need any more phones. I'm giving up. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a big metal can, and I'm going to put a bunch of paper and twigs in it and gasoline. And when you want to contact me, you light it on fire and just do smoke signals. And I'll be, oh, Mom needs eggs. That's going to be me. So let me give it up for Sister Ree, who is feeling, alhamdulillah, Sister Ree is feeling better. She says she's feeling wonderful. She's feeling so good that the feeling went down to her feet. And when she looked down at her feet, she said, I need to get a pedicure. So here she is. She is with Miss Christian watching the show, getting a much needed pedicure. And when people say much needed, what they're saying is, I can't hide it with socks. I can't hide it with Timberlands. I've got to do something about these feet. And I understand. If you got bad feet, here's the deal. Don't spring them on people. If you got bad feet, tell people. I got some things going on in these shoes. I just want to give you a warning. That's all we're talking about, a warning. I'm going to give y'all Ree done gone too far. Ree is with Miss Christian Roberts, who is now on the Shout Out Show. Sister Christian, welcome to the Shout Out Show. Thank you for taking care of my sister's feet. I would bring my feet around there, but, we've already had enough disasters in Texas, and I don't want you to lose joy and inspiration for your job of bringing my feet around there. All right, so we're going to talk with Sister Christian since she's on the show. We have Sister Satana, our consultant producer. Sister Satana, if you can, after the show, could you please give me a call? We have a little business to take care of before tomorrow's event. I appreciate it if you don't mind. And Sister Satana, everybody, like I said, she's a consultant producer. The show doesn't really happen without her. She makes things happen. She keeps things fluid. She keeps me on my business so I can give you the best show that I can give you. Thank you so much, Sister Satana. We'll talk after the show. Sister Rabina, thank you for making the show. I had to reach out to Sister Rabina. I haven't talked. We didn't see you on the show for a while. And as it is, we check on our people. Are you okay? We have a close, nice little family here. And I reached out to Sister Rabina, and she said, look, the show comes up around 11 o'clock on her time. And that's pushing, listen, Sister Rabina never explained a bedtime. My bedtime is whenever the last prayer is. 10 minutes after that, I'm done. But Sister Rabina said she's been working hard, feeding the elderly, giving them good food. She sent a picture of the food. I wish I had it. I mean, it was fresh food, organic food, fruit, vegetables. She's making sure the elderly are eating good over there. All right. And Satana said she didn't know that was Sammy Davis Jr. in that clip? Girl. All right. Oh, that's no problem, Satana. I fooled you. I got you one. You mark that down. Preach got you one. But that was early Sammy Davis Jr. And when I first saw it as a kid, it made me feel insecure about my talents. I thought it was a little man. They were like, no, he's 7. I was like, oh my gosh. Because I'm like 15. Like, what is that? Amazing. All the way from Indonesia, we have Sister Ika checking in. How you doing, Sister Ika? Hope all is well. Back in Jakarta, chilling with her family, her son, daughter, and making things happen, taking care of them. Thank you so much. And I'm going to introduce Reed's pedicure person. Welcome to the show, Sister Christian. Thank you for taking the lead, because some people come on the show, they don't even want to introduce themselves. You jumped right in the comment section, and guess what, Sister Christian? You are part of the ShOUT Show family, which means my platform is your platform. In fact, let us know when you get a chance, where's your shop? We want to patronize your shop. Let us know where your shop is. It's all love here on the ShOUT Show, okay? We're not a million people, but we're important people. That's the way I look at it. Got another note here, Sister Rabina. When I don't call my dad, he sends the Royal Air Force to do a flyby around my house to remind me to call him. Well, you know what? Maybe I ought to get the Royal Air Force to go around my mom's house sometimes. But I understand. I understand, Mom. I give you a hard time. It's all love and concern. But, you know how we are about our parents. It never changes. My mom will pop up in a minute. I'll be doing the show, like, who's that? Hey, it's me. I'm like, oh God, okay. And it's funny, I have to say. Who's getting the feet done too? Oh, okay. Christian Roberts. You're not the pedicure person. You getting the feet done too? Oh, okay. So y'all double dutching. I got you. No problem. Well, anyway, Sister Christian, welcome to the show. And we hope that everybody's feet work out well. You came in with 10 toes, leave with 10 toes. There's 2 of you, multiply by 2. That's 20 toes you need to be checking for when you leave. All right. And you have some love for Sister Satana, who's saying, welcome to the show, Christian Robinson. We appreciate you. Oh, here's a note. See how this goes? Thank you. I'm not in the shop. Okay. All right. There you go, Sister Robinson. We appreciate you. And if there's anything we can do for in the ShOUT Show, understand clearly, as a part of being part of this collective, we hope that you're doing well, your family's doing well, and they're in good health and good spirits. Thank y'all so much. So I want to get to the theme of the Friday Funnies, brothers and sisters. The theme of the Friday Funnies, there's a lot of modernization and remakes of music, and it's horrible. Leave stuff alone. I heard somebody, a rapper, actually take a Luther Vandross track and put it out there. I'm like, son, you're not Luther Vandross. Don't put it in a rap record. We grew up on those things. Leave it alone. Become a musician. Make your own music. Please. 1,000 kisses for you is never enough. I don't want to hear the rap song. Take it out. Take it out. I don't care if Rihanna sings over it or not. I don't care. Take it out. Now I have to reach out to something. I have to comment on something. It's been burning me up for a while here, but it got to the point today where I was just chilling out. I think I was watching Juma or something. And I just bust out laughing. And the subject matter is going to be 2 words. Ted Cruz. Okay, they're having the CPAC convention, brothers and sisters. Donald Trump is slated to speak tomorrow. And they got Ted Cruz talking about Donald J. Trump, allergies. Alhamdulillah. Allergies. Alhamdulillah. Excuse me. Claritin. Gotta get it. All right. So they have Ted Trump, and here's the deal. For many of you who don't remember, you probably do. Ted Trump ran against Donald Trump in the 2016 primary. Okay, he ran to be president, lost miserably. And he lost miserably. This is why he lost. Because he got punked. Ted, you got punked. Now, hey, everybody get punked every once in a while. But remember the story I told you about the ultimate punking. And that was a story about a guy named Monster Cody who was in prison. Gangbanger from LA. He tells this story, and I'm going to repeat it. He tells this story, brothers and sisters, of being on a cell block with a rival gang member. Well, with his gang, they caught a rival gang member, and the die was cast. They were going to beat the gang member up. And so they finally caught the guy. And they're getting ready to beat him up. And the leader of the gang on the cell block said, hey, you have two options. Either we could beat you down, he said, or option number two. And he took a cup and he urinated in the cup and put it beside the guy. He said you could drink the urine. The guy drank the urine. Guess what, folks? And he got beat up anyway. Now you the guy that got beat up that drank the urine. All I'm saying, Ted, is get a lot of mouthwash, brother. I'm talking about Listerine. I'm talking about Scope. I'm talking about kerosene. I'm talking about gasoline. Because, brother, you've been taking a lot from Donald Trump. And now you're a cheerleader. And the state of Texas don't love you, brother. Beto O'Rourke is laughing, brother and sisters. Listen, Ted, if you don't care about the people, just tell the people you don't care about the people. Don't give us clues. Don't leave people in your state freezing, Ted. Freezing. Telling a lie that you went to take your daughter to Cancun. You wanted to go to Cancun. I could have dealt with that, Ted. But here's the thing that burns me up. People are freezing. They don't have water. They don't have food. They don't have gasoline. They are freezing, Ted. And you showed up back to Houston with no jacket. With no jacket. You had a suitcase in a polo shirt. And you had a case of the Dunlaps. Your belly Dunlapped over your belt. It was infuriating. You ain't have a parka or a sweater or a poncho. You just showed up with no jacket. And at that point, Ted, I was pissed. Okay. Thank y'all for allowing me to get that off my chest. It's not that he went to Cancun. Really? Okay. It's that he came back and he didn't have a jacket on for freezing temperatures. That tells me you don't care about the people, and the people should really, really investigate whether they care about you. All right. Oh, my main man is here. Rabina's laughing. Lead with 10 toes. That's right. I'm telling people, lead with 10 toes. All top, my main man from Toronto. What's going on, beloved? Wa alaikum assalam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. Sister Sultana is giving Fat Joe a reason. Sampling is sometimes a way to connect to another generation. I agree, Sultana. I agree, but leave the classics alone. Leave the classics alone. I'm going to say Busta Rhymes did Look Over Your Shoulder, but he didn't do the whole thing. He didn't, because, you know, you don't mess with classics. The name of the foolish rapper is Fat Joe, who I actually like, Sister Rabina. I actually like Fat Joe, because Fat Joe's kind of old school. But the song, I was like, man, come on, Joe. You know, it's rules. It's rules to this thing. It's rules to this game. You don't do that. You don't do that. You know why people don't really try to replay Coltrane and Miles? Because there's a possibility or a reality that you're going to fail way short and in a very miserable and public way. Leave the classics alone. You know why comedians don't do other comedians' stuff? Like classic comedians, we don't do Pryor stuff or Eddie Murphy stuff. Here's why. Because it's classic. Because it happened in a space where we can all appreciate. Leave, let me say it. Look at Reed. Get you some water and Claritin. I would ask you to get me some water and Claritin. But you might lose a toe. No, you know what? I went out. I'm trying to get in shape here, or stay in shape as much as I can. So I actually went out and bought a jump rope, and they have weighted jump ropes. So when the lady gave it to me, I was like, "Oh Lord!" I was like, "No, this ain't it." So I'm gonna have to work into my jump rope. But my point is, leave. Huh? Remember you can get a regular old jump rope with the plastic handles? You can't now. They got weights on them. Leave old school stuff alone. I need a jump rope I can use, and then the kid around the corner can do double dutch. I'm thinking for the team, brothers and sisters. I'm thinking for the team. Now, this is a big one. So listen carefully. This is more important than Ted Cruz coming back to a freezing state with no jacket on. With a case of the Dunlaps. Brothers and sisters, I don't bark about LGBTQ stuff. I have my opinions. They're my opinions. Just recently, President Biden signed off on a lot of stuff for LGBTQ stuff. Okay, Joe, that's what you ran on. I'm not surprised. All you black folks that voted for Joe, I'm here to tell you, yeah, you flavor of the month, but this is what's going on. It is what it is. Deal with it. But I'm saying leave old school stuff alone. What am I referring to? What has me upset, brothers and sisters? I'm going to tell you what has me upset. Hasbro, the toy maker Hasbro, will no longer sell Mr. Potato Head or Mrs. Potato Head because they want the potato head to be they want the potato head to be gender neutral. That's it. I can't handle it anymore. What was wrong with Mr. Potato Head being a Mr. Potato Head? Or Miss Potato Head being a Miss Potato Head? I don't see the logic. Who are we trying to appease here? A kid can't play with a Mr. Potato Head? I'm sick to my stomach. I'm sick to my core. Who came up with this rule, brothers and sisters? What does that have to do with anything? That now you can't have the Mr. Potato Head or Mrs. Potato Head, or we gotta worry about other feelings. So, what you gonna give me a Mr. Potato Head that's hollowed out and there's a Miss Potato Head in there who's just dying to get out? This is the dumbest thing I heard. It's potato heads. You know what potato head is? This is what potato head is. You put a hat on Mr. Potato Head. You put ears on Mr. Potato Head. You put a nose on Mr. Potato Head. He had a mustache. And some arms for Mr. Potato Head. And some feet for Mr. Potato Head. Gender neutral potato head is the dumbest thing I've heard in my life. This is how dumb it is. Gender neutral. At no point in time has Hasbro put out a Mr. Potato Head or Mrs. Potato Head that had genitalia. You know why? Because it's a kid's toy. Bring back Mr. Potato Head. Bring back Mrs. Potato Head. And I mean, I want them uncensored the way they're supposed to be. I almost feel religious. Evangelist. God made Mr. Potato Head and he ain't made Mrs. Potato Head. Amen, preacher. Satana is giving me some bad news. Hasbro purchased Death Row Records. So now we're going to get some gangster rap that's gender neutral. One, two, three to the four. Snoop, Mr. Snoop, Miss Snoop is at your door. Well, just Snoop. Not Mr. Snoop, just Snoop, not Mr. Snoop. You see what I'm saying? Rabina, what you got for me? Now, Miss Rabina, about some facts. I'm upset about Mr. Potato Head. I mean, what? Who came up with that? Like, who came up with that? Okay, listen to Bob Marley's song "Midnight Ravers." Actually, I heard that song, and yep. If you guys, I'm not gonna talk about Midnight Ravers, but if you want to check it out, brothers and sisters, go look up Bob Marley "Midnight Ravers." Okay. Bob ain't play that. Well, and it's interesting. See, my thing is, this is for the kids. These are kids' toys. This is kid toys. And they're trying to link up the toys now. What they're trying to teach in school. I don't want to be harsh or anything like that, but I'm like, come on, man. Let kids be kids. Let kids be kids. I had a G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip. I had a Stretch Armstrong. I had all these toys. And you know what? I didn't have problems with the toys being men. And if the girls played with toys, they were their toys. And it was good, brothers and sisters. It was good. You know why? I'm going to tell you why. Because girls stayed with girl toys, boys stayed with boys toys, and they were separated. They were separated. And it was a great way for everybody to understand position, placement, and roles. All right. What you got for me? Okay, I'm okay. Uncle Ben, now they have Master P rice and Master P syrup. You gonna get some Master P syrup? I would never buy anything that says Master P on it around my food. I'm just saying. Maybe he needs to work on his branding. But Uncle Ben, I can't show it, but there's a really good Saturday night skit with Chappelle about Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben. Really, really funny, really, really creative. So if you get a chance to check it out, check it out. Now, before we run out of time, I'm going to give a salute. I'm going to give a salute to an educator. I saw his stuff on CNN. I researched him. He's an African-American principal in Indianapolis, or right outside of Indianapolis. And the scenario was amazing because he's a thinking principal. He's a thinking principal. I mean, he was in his right to, he was dealing with a child. The scenario is pretty simple. The young man didn't want to take his hat off in school because he felt like he had a bad haircut. And if he took his hat off, then kids would laugh at him. Now, normally, you know how we grew up. You couldn't call my mama with that because be wearing your hat on your behind. That's the way it was in my house. But I'm going to give this guy some love, brothers and sisters. I think I'm going to actually send this to him because as a former educator, I appreciated that there was a solution, but it was a teaching moment. And he chose a teaching moment. So give me a moment. I'm going to bring this up. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Okay, we'll be right back. Just a moment. Let me know what you think.
Image that's going viral online, showing a local principal giving one of his students a haircut.
He was refusing to take his hat off, and so I sat down with him and asked him why and what was going on. He said he just got his hair cut. He didn't like the way it looked.
Okay, hold on a moment. I know what I did wrong. Just give me a minute because I know I made a mistake. I have to switch the audio over. So give me a moment. I will correct this thing. Inshallah. I just forgot I did it. Okay. Let me give me a chance, everybody, and I will work it out.
This is the image that's going viral online, showing a local principal giving one of his students a haircut.
He was refusing to take his hat off, and so I sat down with him and asked him why and what was going on. He said he just got his hair cut. He didn't like the way it looked, and he thought his hairline looked a little funny.
Jason Smith is the principal of Stony Brook Intermediate and Middle School in Warren Township. He says he thought the 8th grade student looked fine, but understood that his student's lack of confidence in his own appearance was keeping him from going to class.
I've been cutting hair, most of my life. I played college basketball, and I cut teammates' hair before games, and I've been cutting my son's hair since, for 17 years. So I had professional, clippers and edgers at home. So I said, if I go home and get my clippers and line you up, will you go back to class? And he said, yeah. Yeah, I will.
After getting cleaned up by his principal, the student held up his end of the bargain and went straight to class. While a perfect haircut may seem trivial to some, Principal Smith knows that for a black boy in middle school, having a good haircut can mean the world.
That age is a time for, peer acceptance is huge, and so young men, especially, African young men, the barbershop's a big deal, in the community, and looking good and representing and presenting yourself, is huge for kids.
While many online are saying this principal went above and beyond, Principal Smith would tell you he's doing exactly what he's supposed to do, not only because he's the principal, but because he's on a mission to change the culture of his school, a place where he wants to solve problems instead of making them worse.
All right, big ups, Principal Smith. I appreciate you. Much love, coming from a former educator, having to make those deals with my students, having to take kids to the barbershop after class, giving them vouchers to go get haircuts in the city. For a moment, I was like, the kid needs to go to class, take the hat off. But I thought about it, and I'm like, you know what? I remember doing the same thing. And you know what? We wanted the kids to stay in class. We wanted them to stay in class, and then more importantly, we wanted them to feel like literally that we were invested, that that they mattered. It was so important to make sure that the kids mattered. So big ups to Smith, Principal Smith, and I'm going to send this to him, brothers and sisters. I'm going to send this episode of the show to him with a little note from the ShOUT show, if you guys don't mind, saying we really appreciate what you did. Because, you know what? It touched me in a way where, I thought about my students. I've talked about my students on the show before. And it reached me, it touched me in a way. I was like, you know what? That's a community principal right there. That's a guy. He didn't have to do that, brothers and sisters. He didn't have to do it. He probably could have bogarted the kid and said, you're going to go to class, da-da-da-da. But you know what? He gave the kid a glimpse into how men can handle problems. All right. Okay, is our audio okay? No, don't tell me it's off. Psh. Is our audio okay before I sign off? Anybody? No? Can you hear me? All right. Well, it looks like I have audio, so I'm gonna go ahead and do what I got to do. So listen, everybody, I want you to have an incredible. Thank you, Doug. I appreciate when your sound guy tunes in. He just sends me headphones. It's okay. Look at Doug. Hey, Doug, should we make the announcement? We'll save it to next week. Got an announcement for everybody, but I'll save it to next week. Sultan, if you have time today, let's talk. Let's catch up. Thank you so much, Altaf. I appreciate you as always. But listen, I just want everybody to have a good weekend. Thank you guys for letting me know the audio is okay, because I have to switch back and forth for some reason. I don't know why. When I'm showing video, I know why, because the video is coming through the computer and the audio for the microphone is a different channel. So we'll get better. How about that? So to wrap up, we're going to give, again, a big salute to Principal Smith. That's number one. Number two, Ted Cruz. Stop acting all moist around Donald Trump. He's not president anymore. Get some, if you're going to keep doing that, Ted, get some Listerine or some Scope. I'm telling you, bro. And the last one, brothers and sisters, please leave Mr. Potato Head alone. There's a Mr. Potato Head and there's a Mrs. Potato Head. And if you put them together, you don't have Mr. Potato Head or Miss Potato Head. You have mashed potatoes or scallops or au gratin. Stop it. Leave Mr. Potato Head alone. Leave Mrs. Potato Head alone. All right. So I'm going to get out. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. God bless you. And I hope you have fun on Friday Funnies. What's my 2 o'clock these days? Look at John. It's still 2 o'clock. I thought this guy would be gone. I thought this guy was gone. He's hanging around like a bad relative. But we'll be talking about that throughout the week. So, brothers and sisters, thank you so much. I will see you, inshallah, tomorrow. Until that point, maybe we ought to have a petition about Mr. Potato Head. I don't know. But until that time, let me again say thank you. I hope to see you guys soon. And Ted, if you're watching, please wear a coat. Please. Just one that covers the midriff. And I'll leave you alone. Preacher Boss, shut up, show. Leave Mr. Potato Head alone. Hey everybody, this is your brother Preacher Moss. Listen, I hope that you enjoyed your shout out show experience. We'll be back with the next show, the next shout out show. A simple ask before you go, please help your brother out. Click that subscribe button, click that notify button, and I'll see you again on this side of the microphone. You probably wonder what that smell is. That's me. I smell good. And the reason I smell good is because I use oils from Tarif Tar. So I'm not saying you can't smell good. I'm not even saying you stink. I'm saying you have the opportunity to smell exquisite. Check out tarifatar.com for some of the best oils and scents in town.